Today's Gospel speaks of the parable of the unjust stewards. There is much to ponder in this parable and many lessons to learn. The rich man represents God, and you are the steward. This reveals that God is the true owner of all material things. We are merely stewards. Consider this. Do you see your possessions as truly yours or as God's? Many people work hard, accumulate wealth, and become attached to their belongings, forgetting that everything ultimately belongs to God. The key lesson here is recognizing that all we own is actually God's. As stewards, we must use our resources according to God's will. In this parable, the steward was reported for squandering his property, which reflects our tendency to misuse God's possessions when driven by our desires. Those with more money often face greater temptation to use it selfishly rather than for God's glory. Though challenging, these truths are crucial for us to understand and live by. The words of the rich man, "Prepare a full account of your stewardship," remind us that we will one day be held accountable for how we manage what God has entrusted to us. If that day were today, would your account reflect hard work for selfish gain or responsible stewardship? In the parable, the steward acts prudently by devising a plan to secure his future after losing his position. This prudence, however, showcases worldly cleverness focused on material wealth. While diligence is commendable, too often it is aimed at personal gain. Imagine the impact if those who strive for riches instead devoted their efforts to advancing God's kingdom on earth. Today, we reflect upon the simple truth that when it comes to the riches of this world, we are only the steward of what we possess, not its master. God wants us to be free from the attachment of material wealth so that we will be free to use all that we have for His glory and in accord with His purpose. That does not mean that we must donate all we have to charities. Instead, it means that we continually offer all that we have to God and seek to use it in accord with His will and His will alone. If that means we discern that God wants us to buy something new, then buy something new. If that means giving more away, then give more away. If that means living more simply as a holy sacrifice, then do just that. Money cannot buy happiness. Only embracing God's will to the fullest will result in the happiness and fulfillment we deeply desire. My brothers and sisters, just like the steward in today's gospel, we need to take a good, hard look at ourselves. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? Where do we need to step it up? Are we in good spiritual shape? How's our prayer life? Are our lives centered around both the corporal and spiritual works of mercy? Are we willing to stand up against injustices and moral wrongs? We've got to be like the steward who acts with cleverness, determination, and confidence. Let's commit today to making Jesus Christ and His teachings the absolute focus of our lives. A blessed day to everyone.